Welcome back everybody to Dark Souls 2. We are finally going to make some progress and make it into the second half of the game. But before we do, we'll grab another level. Vit will do. Now it did cost us one more death grabbing back those souls from the salamanders and whatnot. Yeah, just the one. Got killed, picked up my souls, legged it out, got killed on the way out, went back, picked them up, problem solved. So, let's work our way towards Drangleic Castle, shall we? So once again we return to the old crossroad in the shaded woods, but this time instead of going right, we go left. And we take the approach towards Drangleic Castle. And we've got falconers to deal with. Is this guy gonna go for some? He's gonna go for some. Blammo. One down. You trying to distract me, Yuki? You horrible little cat. It's funny because he's actually not a horrible little cat, he's a perfect little cat.
Hey, that's right.
But there we go. Now. Oh yeah, let's get those poison things off the hotbar before they cause us trouble down the line. Now there's a guy around to the left, but there's also a guy to the right. I think the guy to the left was there in vanilla, but the guy to the right wasn't. So when you play Scholar, you come around here and the guy to the right messes you up because you're not expecting him. Maybe all of this back in vanilla talk is completely irrelevant to most of you because you just never played the vanilla version, but there you go. I did, and it's in my head. And I can't remember how much of what I remember is accurate and how much of it is just nonsense. But it's fine. Bit of loot round here. Stop swiping the screen, little man. He's just literally stood in the middle of the screen now with his paws up. Horrible little cat. Now we've got some more of these ghost people. Do you want some? Maybe? Maybe you don't. Come on. Okay, we got them both. Not terrible though. And that's decent damage. Ooh, cheeky. Got him. Ooh, Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe again. Is that one that we won't be using because of its stats? I'm not sure. Crescent Axe, where's the Dragon Slayer one? There it is. Yeah, it looks like it's got faith on it. Never mind. But we've made it through the first part of this little run. And we've made it to the Shrine of Winter. Now this door in front of us only opens if you've lit all 4 primal bonfires, or if you've got more than 1 million in your soul memory, and we've got 1.1, so we were good either way. This looks like it could well be another of those DLC portals. We'll come back to that. And we'll work our way down this little path. Now, any enemies around here, or is it just an item? Soul of a hero. We'll take it. And we will march on down this little path. Maybe some more ghost people. Yep.
Double yipes!
The Divine Blessing. Right. That guy's going to try and ruin our day. Have we got time for a sup though? We have. Now you're in trouble, my friend. And I thought that was the second one for a moment, because these ghost guys get me every time, but no. This guy, on the other hand, pretty sure he's a bad. And let's see. Whoops. We can drink. I don't know if he can drink. Doesn't matter. Down he goes. So yeah, just a long, straight, windy path.
That's right.
There's nothing major going on, but then we go into the tunnel. The tunnel of climate change. It's suddenly pushing it down. Fancy that? Two Bolads. Let's see. They're just gonna lurk by the look of it, so bum rushing them is the best, probably. And then, yeah, third guy comes in from the back. And so we scarper and regroup. There he is. Where's he playing at? Yeah, we've wasted enough time on these Royal Swordsmen. Let's move on. So, we got a rock. Now, what sort of attack do we want for Crystal Lizards? One-handed? Yeah, one-handed heavy seems to work. Yeah, that does good damage. And it hits them, which is the most important thing we've been struggling with all this game. And we've got 3 chunks and a slab. So the game really wants you to have decent weapons by this point. And here we are, Drannlake Castle. Looks pretty imposing. Looks good. What do you think, Emerald Herald? Also, why are you here, Emerald Herald?
This castle is isolated. But nonetheless, you must forge on. To bring an end to your journey and mine.
Your journey? She's got nothing more to add. But yeah, she's also got a role in this, it seems. Now, big meaty men.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
Let's see what we can do about these lads. Yeah, we'll just stick and move. Although, on these stairs, we don't really need to stick and move all that much. He says, getting boshed. Getting overconfident.
Oh, you dozy boget.
But, yeah. One down. And now that one's down, the second one shouldn't be too much of an issue. Especially because every time we need a heal, we can just back off. How did that hit? Oh, you mother. Damn, I've got to run through all of that crap again. I don't think I've ever actually just sprinted all the way back here and seen what happens. Presumably the enemies will get tired of following me at some point, right? Okay, so that's not so bad at Corpse Run after all. The more you know. Harold's gone. So now let's just be a bit more careful with these guys. I did the hard part, I took one of them down. Let's be careful, he says, immediately gets hit. Ah, you double teamed. And we're back again. I've put the Ring of Binding on because it can't hurt. It's better than the Gold Serpent Ring, really, at this point. And I've also put the Poison Throwing Knives back on because we've got them. We've got no other use for them. We may as well ease our passage through this section if we can. Let's see. Yep, they can be poisoned. Oh, they do cool charge attacks as well, do they? Jesus Christ. That is a lot of damage. didn't realise that. Estus? No, that guy's poison's going to wear off in a moment. Yeah. Lovely. I didn't realise they were going to follow me this far down. They've never done this before. But one of them's out of the way, so it's not terribly an issue. Yoink. And there we go. Right. Okay, we've got one of them. We've got a relatively flat surface. Okay. Oh, there he goes with his big charge attack again. That's going to give us plenty of time to get our stamina up.
I knew I'd get right.
Bob's your uncle. Mastodon Great Shield. It's pretty beefy. Now, we've got the castle doors themselves to open. Let's see if anything else untoward happens when we get up here. No. No, we're all good, it seems. So, to open these doors, we simply kill enemies near the doors, and their souls get absorbed by the door instead of by us. And then you get swarmed by like 600 enemies from nearby, because there's an infinitely respawning number of enemies here just to make sure you can get through the castle door. Oops. Let's turn off lock on. Get back over here. You're probably not close enough to the door. No, you're not. Can we get in this up before we get ambushed by someone else? We can. And there we go. Door's open. There's a chest around here, I think. Yes. Pyro stuff. So, we venture into the castle itself.
Gonna move on.
There we go. Now the door opens. So yeah, each of those were... Excuse me guys, I'm trying to explain something here. Each of these giants had little holes in their chest. And they sort of absorb the souls and... What do they absorb into those jars? Either way, they absorb the souls and open the door. Problem solved. No, who's this chap?
Who are you? And by whose permission do you stand before me? This castle is a domain of King Vendrick. Is your trespass intentional? His Highness. Where has he gone?
Right, so the king's not here?
You are a guest of our castle. I am the Chancellor, Belaga. Do you seek an audience with my lord, King Vendrick? Unfortunately, His Highness is absent. My lord, the king, the Queen has taken him.
The Queen has taken him. Intriguing.
My lord made magnificent findings on souls. An accomplishment for the ages. He vanquished 4 great ones and built this kingdom upon their souls. Our king has watched over this land since ages long ago. King Vendrick, we must fight back, or the giants will take Drangleic. The king had a dear queen, a woman of unparalleled beauty. Long ago, the queen came to us, alone, from a faraway land. She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giants. The king crossed the ocean and defeated the giants with the queen at his side.
So there we go. So Vendrick attacked and killed all the giants at the behest of his new queen, who just popped up out of nowhere. All very strange.
The king commandeered their power and created the golems. With the golems, the king created this castle to celebrate victory and to show his love, his gratitude to his queen. The queen brought peace to this land and to her king, a peace so deep, it was like the dark.
Interesting.
Is this some sort of a dream? Where am I? What has happened to our castle? Who are you? And by whose permission do you stand before me?
So he seems to have got himself naturally in a bit of a loop there. Doesn't seem to be aware he's dead, really.
Welcome, visitor. Our guests are treated with honor. This is the way of our castle. Tell me if you should require anything.
Well, we'll take your gesture, sure. Now, a couple of weapons, the Flamberge and the Lucerne. Bracing Knuckle Ring +1 if you're in the need for one of those. What bolts you got? Magic and Lightning, that's pretty cool. And a spell.
Gone so soon. Be safe on your travels.
Yeah, we're good for now. Is there anything going on in the old throne room? Not really. Not a lot. We've got a couple of thrones. Both empty. Neither king or queen are present. Now if you come up here in New Game Plus, you get to fight 2 pursuers at once. It's every bit as bad as it sounds. But for now, we've got the lower level to explore. And although it's not been a while since we got a bonfire, really, it's a bit of a jog up here, so we could do with not dying until we can get to that next bonfire. So, let's see what we can kill. We got some Scion Knights that were statues but are no longer. It's a bit of a theme of this area, is statues coming to life. So yeah, get your paranoia ready.
Isn't that a urine stain on the front of your trousers?
Now this chest, it was guarded by a Scion Knight, which usually means bone dust. That's the 5th bone dust, I believe. Yep. That'll take us up to Estus Flask. +5. That was slow as heck. But we got out of the way in the end. Now this lad likes his big slow swings. Doesn't like backstab so much. Gets them anyway. And through here we have a Royal Swordsman who seems pretty chill. And a second one. But no. Come on, just hit him. Clumsy, but I figured we had enough health to survive that. And that brings us down to a room full of statues, but luckily none of these are going to kick off. And we have 3 different routes. The one in front of us is a bonfire. Lovely. Alright, bonfire dealt with. Now let's take a look at the other options. So we've got a room down here which leads to another Scion Knight. But then we can't go further because we need to produce the symbol of the king. We've seen that message a few times now. So we'll probably need to worry about that in a bit. But for now we have a room that's full of more of these soul doors. These golem doors, if you will. That's that first one opened up nicely for us. Is that guy going to follow us into this corridor or not? Die already, thank you. So yeah, 6 doors in here. Each of them lead to potentially treasure, potentially danger. It's hard to be sure, but we've opened one of them, which is the one we need. Some of them have enemies in which means you want to be careful about which ones you open and which you don't, because you don't need those enemies rushing you all the time and generally being dibs. So yeah, just open the doors that... Oops. That was the torch rather than the door. That's fine. That guy's a pain in the bum. Because yeah, you also want to watch how you move around in this room, because you don't want to kick off loads of fights that then trigger more fights as you start moving around. But here's a rune sentinel.
Oh no!
Oh god, I think I've just aggroed someone.
How do you send?
And yeah, that's what happens when you aggro knights plus rune sentinels at the same time. But there's loot in there, you see. We need the loot. Let's just advance straight forward. Trigger any that are in the centre. Was it you? Back to the start of the room. There we go. Sensible. Although that's now aggroed a couple of others, I think. And they do hit pretty hard with their wacky spears. Down they go. And we got one of their spears. Lovely. Okay, so who was it who aggroed? Was it you? It was. So if we get this guy out of the way, we might have a clear stab at things. Although is there also one in... there's one in front of the... Oh shit, we've opened up another door by mistake. That's what I was talking about. What you don't want to do.
And yet, here we are!
Because there might be another ruined sentinel on this door. Yeah, there is. So do we... Yeah, we've got to... We can't risk going past this one to fight the second one. Fight the one that we actually need. So, everyone's favourite boss fight revisited. Not so bad on terms of the old health, though. And yep, big swing. Roll 3 and... Got him. Took a bit. But now that one's out of the way. We've opened the second door, so let's have a peek. Mastodon Greatsword, we've already got one of those. A spider was carrying it. But now we should be able to access third guy without too much trouble, and then we'll do the same. Come on. Right. Come on, lad. Get around that spear boy. Yeah, you can do those ones all day, because I can just roll through and out the other side. As long as he doesn't do a spinning attack, we should be fine. I don't even know if he can do the spinning attack in here. Oof, that was a sweep though. That was horrible. Getting a quick cheekies up whilst he backs away. So yeah, they can be exploited. That swing caught me from 1.5 miles away. But that's the sentinel down and takes us to what we need. Ba-na-na-na. The Royal Soldier's Ring +1. So, what are we carrying? second dragon ring does... What does that do? Is that HP, stamina and maximum load? And Royal Soldier's ring, maximum load as well. This takes us down to 41. Let's see. What have we got? We've got Reba and Nancy. And how are we looking now for equip load? 60.4, that's doable. I've got a mid-roll. Now, I'm trying to think how far there is to the next bonfire. It's a little bit of a run. Let me just turn off my mouse for a moment so that Yuki can push it around all he wants. So, what have we got in this little room? Let's push on a little bit. We have got a dark arrow and the frozen flower. That may well be the key to a DLC. Oh yeah, we could probably use a humanity actually, because we are at 50%. Alrighty, Roo. It's a new day, yes it is. But it's not a new episode. I don't think I had enough usable footage from the last one, what with all the corpse runs and whatnot. So yeah, we'll just wrap up this episode today by getting to the next bonfire, I think. We'll just run past all that guff as well, because we don't want to get our durability ruined. And we will ruin that guy. Thoroughly. Anyone else in here want some? No, we're all good. Yeah, those things were dropping down durability damaging goop. There's probably some loot down there if we take all our clothes off, but I'm not that worried about it. So we'll continue up the stairs. I do like all these stone statues around because you don't know when any of them might just pop off, and that's always good. And now we have the room full of arrow things. And we got away with it. Good. I didn't even see what was in the chest. I was too busy worried about whether the arrows were going to fire again. But yeah, that room was a killer at times back in the day. Now, what rings am I wearing? Is binding better at the moment than Ring of Blades? Or should I just pop another Humo? I've got 37 of them. Getting a bit of health back would be a good idea, I feel. So, that's the Queen, Nashandra. We are not going to go too close to that painting, because if you do, you very rapidly build up curse. That's probably not a good sign. We might want to stay away from the Queen. These cyanites, on the other hand, not really a problem. What you drop for us? Leggings? Are we going to get the full set of armour at some point? That'd be nice. It's a good looking set. And yeah, they're not exactly difficult to farm. You coming as well, my friend? Good. Oops. Lock on. Thank you. Yeah. If every enemy in the game was like that, then wouldn't be a long game. Torches. Can I get that without getting cursed? Yeah. Dragon bones. Lovely. Now, this little corridor here, I'm just going to have a quick beverage. Now, this little corridor here is where you get attacked by the Nameless Usurper, if you haven't already made her fall down a hole. Which we have, so that's all good. As for you lads, just 2 years, is it? Oh no, Cyan Knight as well. Alright then. Well, you know the business. So yeah, I think that guy just popped into existence as we ran up those stairs. and start shooting, because I'm pretty sure I heard someone spring into life. But on we go. And let's see. Ah, there's the Queen. So have we gone a little too far? We might have gone a little too far. Because yeah, if we look down here, there's a little platform for a start. But we don't need to even drop off because a ladder. And a dude. Not really sure what he was going to do there, what his plan was. But we snagged ourselves a soul, and see how that bit didn't have a lower level to it like that one. Hidden walls. And another bonfire. So let's just quickly clear out the rest of this little area. Being this guy and the chest that he guards. Stop it. There we go. And this chest, I believe, is a bow that's excellent for dex users. Yeah, there we go. Hunter's black bow. But that's for dex users, that's not us. Now, do we even need to sit at this bonfire? We've got 6 Estus left. We could just waltz up and see the next boss without any trouble. Yeah, I think we'll go and have a quick word with the Queen, and then we'll call this episode a day. Later, Queen.
You have fought admirably on your journey, cursed undead. I am Nashandra, Queen of Drangleic. A true monarch carries the weight of their souls, the last king of this land. King Vendrick, as he was called. He found the strength to rule his people, and when the undead were born, cursed, he found more strength to face them. But in the end, he never took the true throne. Visit Vendrick.
Visit Vendrick.
We have no need for 2 rulers.
Sinister stuff. Vendrick's still around somewhere, but he's not the true king. Interesting. We will probably end up meeting him at some point. Seems to be the way things are going. But for now, this is indeed the end of the episode, so I shall bid you farewell. And next time we've got, let's see, a boss, a bonfire, maybe a big old elevator, possibly a horse. We'll see you then.